Hey, we're excited to announce a brand new sponsor, Diet Smoke. That's right. With strengths ranging from 10 milligrams to 200 milligrams, let's party!
Okay, Joey Diaz.
Diet Smoke promises you'll find your new favorite THC gummy. Join the Diet Smoke community and discover the buzz for you.
Visit dietsmoke.com today and use code PRETEND for 50% off. That's half off any item, and enjoy your journey to bliss.
Thank you for explaining half off to the potheads.
You're welcome. Here's the episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Pretend Problems podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Maria Bamford.
Oh, good one.
Thank you.
Did she do a podcast by herself or does she have a co-host?
I have no idea. I don't even know she has a podcast.
Oh, she's just so great.
I'm not sure.
I felt out of juices.
I just love her.
In the intro. I love her too.
I know. I just wanted to try to throw you off your game. See what you got, girl.
Nothing. I'm so sorry. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
Fucking great.
Good. We have had so many emails and YouTube comments since last week's episode came out with you talking about what's going on with you.
Right. And went to the doctor. Nothing.
No,
I'm a goddamn grand champion. That's what they said.
He has not gone to the doctor.
They named a wing after me at the hospital.
I
have not. So I have to go, the American medical system is I have to go get a referral. I have to have somebody who knows nothing about what's going on ask me 3 questions and then decide whether or not I get to go see someone else. It's like a video game.
No.
So you have to beat one level to get to the boss.
I feel like that's a little bit of a black and white way to look at it. Somebody who knows nothing that's going on. I mean, don't you think that they're a little bit of a professional?
Nothing going on with me personally right this instant.
Oh, but you'll tell them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll ask me 3 questions. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have not listened to last week's episode, we talked about that Chad wants to go in and be assessed for potential ADHD.
Right. Full-blown autism. Sprinkle with the tiz.
Touch of the tism.
Yep. Sprinkle.
Anxiety, who knows?
I don't know what it is. I just get real grunt. For example, can we talk about pickleball?
We can talk about pickleball, yeah.
So we go play pickleball with this other, they're not a couple, but they're just 2 friends of ours. Mm-hmm. And we've played at this place. It's the 3rd time we've played at this place. Mm-hmm. And then today it was busy. Yep. Busier, but there's always been people sitting at that middle table every time we've been there.
It's warmed up just enough that the olds are like, I can withstand this weather. And so they've come out from their cocoon,
right.
Their winter cocoon.
A lot of neoprene at this place. You can smell neoprene. Yeah. Anyways, so as I say, my knee hurts. Yeah. So we're there and we're just playing. And then this guy comes over and goes, hey, you guys got to rotate out. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Because I'm like, we're not part of a league or anything. And they're like, no, this is open play. So you need to rotate. When you're done with one game, you go put your rackets in this little rack, and then that lets everyone know who's up next. And we're like, all right, great. And he goes, you know what? Just play this next game and then do it next game. And I was like, you got it, man. No problem. Yeah. So then everything's great. And we know the rules and we know what we've been done. But then this guy, this older man.
Wait, different guy then?
Different guy.
Oh, okay.
With a green hat. He said, well, you don't know you have to rotate out? And I go, no, I don't know that. This is our 3rd time we've been here and no one's ever told us that. And he goes, well, someone has to tell you? And I go, yeah, that's how learning works. And then he goes, I go, we're willing to play by the rules. We just didn't know the rules. Yeah. And he goes, why didn't you ask? And I go, because when I get to a place, I don't just go, hey, everybody, this is a public park. Are there any rules? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. And we'd been there 2 other times and never had to rotate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then he goes, well, the rules are right here. And I go, interesting, because the court's right there and the parking lot's right there. How about you put the rules over by that court? And then I saw Kelsey coming and I shut my fucking mouth. And I stopped the whole conversation. And he said something where I was like, ready to go. And then I was like, nope, here comes Kelsey. So I was like, all right, man, we'll just follow the rules. And then I went over to the picnic table and I was like, oh my God, it's so nice out today.
What do you think would have happened if I wasn't there?
I just would have continued the conversation because here's what I think. I think I was trying to find out if this guy was reasonable or not. Because I think that's a big thing. If you're arguing with someone that's unreasonable, just cut your losses. But I was still trying to feel this dude out and see what his thing was about. But also, it's like, I mean, I just don't understand going to a public. I've never gone to a tennis court and been like, is there anything I need to know? Can somebody help me? This is my first day out of the house. That's crazy. So you just play and then be like, there's no other way to learn. Either you fucking feel that the stove is hot.
Right.
And you don't touch it, or someone goes, don't touch that fucking stove. Like one of the two.
Right.
But there was no way for us to feel the stove.
Well, so everybody's in the middle of playing, so you're not wanting to just walk up to games and interrupt people mid-volley. And I think it was definitely a generational thing. Like this guy maybe comes from a time when things were different, and because he was so like, well, there's a sign right there, and the sign is like 12 inches by 8 inches. I mean, it was this like tiny little placard,
and it's
on
2 courts
one of
over.
He's like, well, there's a sign right there, as if, like you said, you would walk into a park and go, before I do anything, let me find the public park signs, which are always like, hey, no spitting gum on. It's like shit like that, where you're like, yeah, we know that. Like we don't need to do that.
I haven't jacked off one time. I haven't since we've been there.
Yeah, don't let your dog take a shit on the tennis court. It's like, got it, thank you. Like, didn't even need a sign for that.
But if there's a nuance to the rules, like, hey, there's rotation here. It's not first come, first serve, because we had to eat dinner at 10:30 a.m. and we had to get to this place. Yeah. So we were a little late and we want to play. We want to rotate in. Our taxes pay for this. And I get it. I'm fine with the rotation. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the way it was presented to us. So guess what? I'm going to go back there. When you're on the road and I'm here all by myself, wristband, half tee, headband, and I'm going to go out onto his court right when they're playing. I'm going to be like, hey guys, how's it going? Like, what are you doing? Oh, I just wondering if anybody knew the rules. Anybody know what I'm supposed to be doing here? I just drove my car here and this is where it stopped.
Are you Brian Regan?
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I love it.
Oh, I had no idea, but you know I like to steal from people. And so I don't know what else to, I think that'd be funny as shit.
Yeah. I know you're not actually going to do that.
I'm not actually going to do that.
That would be very funny.
I'll probably be locked up after this assessment. We don't know.
Well, I think that we all handled it the best we could because that guy was, oof. I asked Chad after the interaction, I was like, is Grumpy Old Men still one of your favorite movies after talking to that guy? Because he was a real shit. Even I said something, and you guys know I usually do not insert myself into any confrontation like that. But I was like, yeah, we just didn't know it's our first time playing. So, not our first, but like we don't, whatever. I said, like, we're new to this. This is not a thing we know. So, this guy. But,
and then it's like, you four can stay together and play if you want. Oh, we can? Thank you so fucking much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grand Poobah of pickleball. This dude sucks. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go to this assessment, and some of these questions will have been written for current times. And they'll be like, okay, Chad, what would happen if you're playing pickleball and someone comes over and says, this is open pickleball? And we have to be like, fuck you! Fuck you! And then they're going to shove pills down my throat as I'm being strapped in to a gurney. Great.
Well, maybe it can be a fun segment for Patreon that we're going to start soon.
Good segue.
We can visit Chad in the mental ward. We have truly gotten so many great YouTube comments and emails. Like I said, I thought one of the things that was so interesting were people who said that they were diagnosed with ADHD as an adult, and that one of the little like microcosm symptoms of ADHD is that you have a really strong desire for there to be justice and fair play in the world. And I was like, oh my God, isn't that fascinating? I mean, that's so you to a T.
That does strike a chord. That was not on any of the lists I read.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
So I'm not sure, and I'm not doubting anyone that wrote that in, but I just like, I mean, I don't know. I think that you could probably plug in all of my dialogue from these podcasts to AI and be like, hey, what's wrong with this person? And it would be like, this person needs justice. This person did not have justice as a child. And so I do. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I want, when there's rules, I want, it's interesting because today we didn't know the rules. And maybe that guy wanted justice.
Yeah.
But I wanted justice against him for picking on people that didn't know the rules.
Yeah, it was funny. He almost had a little bit of old man ADHD.
I'm going to, I was telling Kelsey that I'm going to make a superhero costume with ADHD across my chest. And it's going to be scratchy. Probably not going to like it because I have a sprinkle of autism. There's too much stitching on my letters. Stop.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny if we found out that guy does have ADHD? Because listen, he was
so funny,
quick to anger.
Yeah, I know.
Really felt strongly about fair play and justice. I don't know any other ones.
I don't either.
Low tolerance of
people in
people
public
and situations and things.
Yeah.
Impatient. Didn't want to be waiting anymore.
Someone commented. Now I got
interesting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's that's a look into the future for you. Uh-oh. You come back next week and she's not here. Hi guys. Welcome to the Pretend Problems podcast. I kind of got a real problem.
Your eyes watering.
I kind of got a real problem. My girlfriend left because she saw me from the future. This isn't good. This doesn't feel right.
Oh my gosh, stop making your eyes water. You're too good at acting. That feels real.
Thank you so much.
I know you have an audition later, but
that's true.
Save it for then.
Jen commented YouTube comments from last episode, and I thought it was very interesting. She said she took a medication, got told she had ADHD. Later in life, she's 42. And said she takes a very low dose of a medication, skips weekends. And she said the first time she took it, she started crying because she said, oh my God, she realized she's been playing life on hard mode for 42 years. And that, look at me, look at me in the eyes. My life is fucking great. That's true. It has been since day one. However, sometimes I make it a little harder than it needs to be. And so I think that's probably what she was getting at, where it's just like, oh, I don't have to do that. So I told my mom I was going in for an assessment and she goes, well, you're 49. And I'll tell you something, kind of agree. I mean, it's like, what are they going to do? They're going to look at me. It's like bringing a, 17-year-old dog into the vet and being like, he limps. They're like,
No,
you have a fucking rifle in a shed, go behind it.
This is so not like that.
And so, but here's the thing. And my mom was like, you know what? Maybe whatever it is a gift. And I would not argue with that.
I think there are definitely gifts that are part of ADHD.
I would definitely not argue with that. So I was saying, I have this, I've built this life and blah, blah, blah. And I go, but then it would be nice to have all of that without yelling at my sister when she goes to get almond milk with no explanation. This is a long story, but it did not end well. And so it would be nice to have all of those things without the quick to anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think it was also part of this woman, Jen's comment, where she was saying that it's common for adults to get diagnosed later with ADHD because, can I find the exact wording she said?
Well, she said that the brain doesn't deliver dopamine. The delivery system is a little slower and a little whatever. But then I had therapy today and I talked to my guy and he was like, well, that's just old age. That's like your brain, your cognitive, from the time you're 32 years old, you're declining cognitively. And so I think that's also part of that. And that's why it is, it shows itself more as you get older.
Yeah. The part of what I was thinking of that Jen said was, I asked her why it was suddenly, she's talking to her doctor. I asked her why it was suddenly becoming something I could no longer, in air quotes, compensate for. She said the older we get, the harder it is for our brain to overcome. It is for our brain to overcome the dopamine issues related to it. So, yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I think that besides me, I think that we've all commented on old people. You know, it's like, get off my lawn, that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we all have it. And it just is a ticking time bomb. And it finally shows when you get older. Because I don't know. I mean, I know old people that are like nice, but also pretty fucking not nice when they need to be. So who knows?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I have my appointment to get my referral on the 13th.
nice.
Yeah.
We also got a helpful email saying that if you are struggling to find somebody in a quicker time frame, because you're like, oh, I wanted to get the referral, and the psychiatrists I looked at are like, oh, we're not taking new patients until next year.
Right.
This guy, I think he said he lives in this area, and he said that he just looked like maybe 30 minutes to an hour outside of the city, and that there were way more options, but that right in the Twin Cities gets flooded. Like there are too many people and not enough doctors. And so he's like, just a thing to think about.
I'm not driving to St. Cloud, pal. Oh, sorry.
Quick to anger.
Oh, no.
Quick to
It's
anger.
happening faster and faster.
Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone that commented and all the emails and everything like that. I mean, just so you know, like, my life is great. I'm just going to figure out this one thing and then we'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah. I just don't want to seem like I'm bitching the whole time.
No, that's not what this is. If you have ADHD or whatever else, you're not bitching about your life.
Right.
It's, you know what, there is an email that I want to read on the podcast about this. Okay. And I think it will help reframe that.
Does anyone think it's funny if when I go to Starbucks, they say, is it your name Jack? And I go, Chad. And they're like, Eric? I'm like, Chad, can you spell it? To say CHADHD. I think that'd be very funny. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, give me my goddamn coffee. You heard me.
Yeah, when we were trying to think of episode names for last week's episode, you texted me, how about Chad HD? CHADHD. Oh my God.
I think that probably would have been funnier if you thought it was off the cuff, but now you know that I reused a joke.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Should we move on to our middle segment?
Sure.
Okay. We had so much fun doing the 5 favorite childhood foods, and it seemed like you guys liked that too. And so we thought we'd do another nostalgic childhood one. And so I asked Chad if he wanted to do our top 3 favorite Disney movies.
Right.
From childhood.
Right.
And it depends how specific you want to get. If you want to keep it to like the old school, kind of like sketchy, animated, like pre-Lion King, pre-Aladdin.
No.
You want to include like Kung Fu Panda?
Because those are 2 of mine.
Really?
Yeah. Kung Fu Panda is not Disney.
Oh, it's DreamWorks.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you go first then.
Well, surprise, surprise, but mine have already been revealed.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Do I have ADHD or am I just living in a fucking nightmare?
Gosh. Sometimes I like to react so sincerely and just watch him feel bad.
My first one is Lion King. Now, this is interesting.
Okay.
Because when I was a week before my 21st birthday, we buried my grandfather. Oh. And so at his funeral, everyone was like, what should we watch? Not at his funeral, but like when everyone was there. And I go, I don't know, let's just pop in Lion King. So we popped in Lion King. And then obviously the scene where Scar like kills Mufasa and then Simba is like, Dad. Well, everyone's bawling. And my uncle walks by me, looks at me and he goes, nice call, dipshit.
Oh my God.
So my life has been great since day one. So
By the way, it hasn't, and that's okay.
But I mean, it has been really good. Really, really good. Like, I complain about all these little things, but there's like, in order to do podcasts or do comedy, you kind of reveal the dark without going like, but also, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying you've also been through some real trauma with your dad.
Well, and my uncle, turns out. So
I'm just saying, like,
Lion
doesn't
King,
have to be. It's been great since day one.
but it has been real good.
Okay.
So Lion King, even with what happened,
Yeah.
still one of my favorites.
Wow.
Now, obviously, we had not gotten to the Hakuna Matata part yet, or I would have said that back to my uncle, and then he probably would have punched me. So good thing. When like, Hakuna Matata, bitch. That's idea, dipshit. Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
I think that's how Disney intended for it to be said, is with a motherfucker or bitch at the end.
It means no worries until the funeral tomorrow.
It means shove it up your ass.
So that one, of course. And then Aladdin. Is there a better Disney soundtrack than Aladdin? I'm
Hard to
gonna
beat.
listen. For me, no. Now, was that CD stuck in my car's CD player for about 3 years, and it was the only thing I could listen to? Yeah, wouldn't even switch to radio. It was a fucking nightmare. But I can sing it front to back, dog.
Whoa.
And now you can't. Here's something interesting. When you go to Apple Music and you look for the soundtrack of Aladdin, you don't get the Robin Williams songs.
Oh.
They took them out, which is wild.
Wow. Why?
Really silly. It must have been some kind of deal, or like he wasn't getting the rights, and it goes back to this whole lawsuit that we don't need to talk about.
Jeez.
And then I'm going to say Little Mermaid is my third.
Really?
I love Little Mermaid. Absolutely love it. Someone willing to give up all of that shit just at a chance to talk to this other person is pretty wild. And then just everything that goes into it. But yeah, I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Under the sea. I love it so much.
Is that from that one? Les poissons, les poissons. Oh, I love les poissons. Is that from that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Fun fact, when I was...
We'll be the judge of that.
It is a fun fact. When I was maybe 2, my parents tried to take me to see Little Mermaid in the theaters, and when Ursula gets giant and comes out of the water, I started screaming and crying. They had to take me out.
No way. Something not scary in a movie scared you? Check out episode 3. I don't know what it is.
Also, they tried to take me to Beauty and the Beast in theaters, and just it's the opening where her dad is in the woods and there are wolves. Started screaming and crying and to be taken out.
You seem like a lot of fun.
I was really easy for babysitters.
Oh my God.
That's sensitive.
No, that makes sense.
It's scary to me. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't have pegged you for Little Mermaid, man.
I'd like you to peg me.
Oh. We'll be right back. Patreon. I'll just keep plugging. Literally plugging. Patreon. Okay.
Ready.
My number 1 is Aristocats.
That checks out.
Yeah. It's cats. It's Paris. There's trumpets in the soundtrack.
Wow. That's yours.
It's everything.
For sure.
Have you seen Aristocats?
I'm sure.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, that's my number 1. My number 2, 101 Dalmatians.
Also a good one. Kind of surprised you didn't start screaming. Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
How nasty she was.
Yeah. You fools. You idiot. That's pretty good. I also really like their British insults in there.
Yeah.
He comes in, he goes, I'll knock your Blicken block off. And I was like, God, where's Blicken? We need to bring Blicken back.
Blicken back?
Blicken back.
Whoa.
Bring Blicken back. Bring Blicken back. Say it 3 times.
Uh-uh.
And then, can I have a tie for 3rd?
Hey, you guys. She wants more than the original allotment.
I tried to go for 5 and he only wanted 3.
Do you want to know,
This is compromise.
old cunning McGee over here? Today she goes, what do you want to eat for dinner? And I said, as like a funny thing, let's go to Whole Foods and then let's drive through the parking lot and go get sushi.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, she goes, I'm excited for our sushi date. You know what that means? I'm buying. What a trickster. What a trickster. I'm excited for our sushi date. And I can't say, well, it's not a date. Let's go Dutch because she's excited. God, she's good. She's good.
Do you want to go Dutch?
You're very good.
Do you want to go Dutch?
No, but I'd like to hear your next two things.
Sometimes just, I don't even know what to say to you. Drive me
Nobody
crazy.
does. Nobody does. Can't wait to get these letters on my chart so I can have an excuse for all of this bullshit.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to cut back to last episode. Remarkably tolerant.
If you think that I'm apologizing, if I get a sprinkle of autism or ADHD, if you think I'm apologizing one more time in my life, you're crazy. Not me. You're crazy. No chance. I'm just going to hand him a business card.
Here's what I have.
My parents shouldn't have fucked each other because this is what happened.
It's a business card that only has half of the information because he got distracted, had to start another project.
Hate crime.
Okay. My tied for number 3 are Robin Hood and Sword in the Stone.
Man, okay.
I love the old school ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
I can tell.
They're so funny too. They're both so funny. You know, I've just pulled up the squirrel scene for Chad on YouTube from Sword in the Stone, where Merlin gets turned into a squirrel and this other squirrel falls in love with him. And she's super aggressive. She like shoves him into a tree and he gathers himself. He's like, oh, madam, I'm an old man. And she just is giggling like she won't accept it. Oh my God. It's so funny. You guys, somebody else tell me that they think this is funny. Chad doesn't think it's funny.
Well, I like the good ones. I like the good movies.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Those are classics.
Okay. I know they are classics.
And good ones.
Okay.
They're so good.
I heard you.
These are where my letters come out. I don't know what mine are, but okay. Guys, should we do our tour dates? You listeners want to tell us your tour dates?
You know how a lot of times on this podcast we'll be arguing or a fight's about to start and I'll say, let's do dates. Mm-hmm. Well, I've brought that into our relationship and I've started saying it even when the camera's not on. And I think it's very funny.
It's actually very funny. He made me laugh out loud in the kitchen yesterday and really it wasn't a tense moment, but
no, it was like a good,
it was like an emotional moment. And it was very funny.
All right. Ready.
Okay, so I will be in Kansas City, June 7th through the 8th. And then week after that, I'm going to be with Chad and Bert Kreischer in Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. And then in July, I'm in Charlotte and Raleigh. In September, I'm in Timonium/Baltimore and Fort Collins. October, I'm in Omaha and Phoenix. November, I'm in Providence and Dania Beach. And December, I'm in Austin and San Antonio.
Oh, that's going to be very fun.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't remember what happened. Oh, here we go. So I am going to be in Springfield, Missouri, just a 2.5 hour drive from Kansas City when you're there.
Oh, yeah.
June 7th and 8th. And then I'm going to be with Bert Kreischer and Kelsey and Mark Normand and Dave Attell and Dan Soder. Bunch of real funnies going to be out on the Fully Loaded tour. And then after that, I'm in July 12th and 13th, Detroit. September 13th and 14th, Spokane. 2021, Tampa. October 3 and 4, Madison, Wisconsin. That's 3 through 5. 18 and 19, Columbus, Ohio. November, Denver, San Francisco, and Sacramento. December, Salt Lake City and Las Vegas. Get your tickets while you can, and that is up until showtime.
Yeah. Amazing. And tickets at kelseycook.com.
ChadDaniels.com.
Can I
/tour.
Can I share a quick mom thing before we get into emails?
Yes.
So I went and visited my mom this past week, or was it? Well, it's this current week, but that we're recording this. And as you guys know, as you guys know, my mom has dementia, and I brought her some lunch and I was feeding it to her. And it was going pretty smoothly. I was feeding her chicken, I was feeding her mac and cheese, and then I tried to feed her broccoli, but it had been roasted to the point where it was like kind of crispy, and she started chewing it, and then I looked over at her and she was making this kind of weird face, and I could tell that she was trying to spit it out, and so I was like, oh, okay. And so I put like my napkin out in front of her, and she spit it into the napkin, and then she looked at me and she said, don't ever do that again. And I said, okay. And my mom, there are not always a lot of like full sentences at this point. And I love that was like really she was locked in looking at me. Don't ever do that again. I think she thought I tried to feed her a shrub or like part of a tree, because it's just like such a crispy texture. And I think if you're not fully like aware of what is being fed to you, it's like, oh, somebody's trying to trick me into something that I don't want to have. And I was like, it's just broccoli. But she was not pleased. This might just be healing for me to say this. I could tell this trip that there were times where she didn't recognize me, which is like the hardest possible thing to go through. And, the times where I can tell she doesn't know it's me, I'll be like, I love you. And she goes, that's nice. Because if she doesn't know it's me, doesn't recognize me, then to her, it's just like, why is this stranger saying I love you? Like, that's such an intimate thing. And then one of the days I visited her, when I could tell she knew it was me, I was hugging her at the end, and she like put her hand up and touched my arm. Like I could tell she was hugging me back. And then on the second day, when she didn't know or maybe the third day, didn't know it was me, I hugged her at the end, and she didn't put her hand up on mine, and she just goes, okay. I was like, all right. Because I didn't even think about that. Like, if you don't know who's hugging you and there's a person hugging you, you're probably like, what is this?
All right, that's enough. Right.
Anyway, I have to try to just like find some humor in it, or else you just don't stop crying or don't get anything done. But anyway, for those of you who have a family member with dementia, you know how painful it is. But anyway, I just thought I would share that for the podcast, that those moments were as hard as they were, to try and find some humor in them. Hey guys, we're excited to announce a brand new sponsor, Diet Smoke.
We are.
Diet Smoke has sold over 10 million THC gummies across the US for good reason, with strengths ranging from 10 milligrams to 200 milligrams.
Auga! That's a lot.
We got to get them for your son. Diet Smoke promises you'll find your new favorite THC gummy. Before we keep going, the team at Diet Smoke has sent us such a nice care package, including the new Sativa Pineapple Express and Indica Grape Ape gummies. And Chad and I do really love to pop an edible from time to time.
From time to time.
Yeah.
I'm not I like it with a movie. Mm-hmm. I like it when my back hurts. Mm-hmm. I do like it.
We have the makings in this house for a great night for edibles. We've got a hot tub. We can just go mellow out in.
We've got ping pong.
We've got foosball.
We've got metal tip darts. Look out.
And as your son discovered, we have an Olive Garden nearby. So it is kind of a good setup for us. We like gummies, THC, CBD, blends, either or, because it's just like a fun little change up from booze.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it, I sleep better, way better than I do if I'm drinking versus THC.
Yeah. And it's been fun to talk about with your son, with friends, and we can't recommend them enough.
Diet Smoke is always trying to bring you guys the best tasting, most effective, and most innovative gummies you can find. Whether you want something strong to unwind, a boost of energy to keep you going, or a lighter option for a mellow high, Diet Smoke is for you. Maybe you know how you're looking to feel, but if you don't, they have weed sommeliers, and they are on call 24/7 to help you get there. This cat just farted. Oh my God, that might have been the dog, and the dog's way over there. Listen, Diet Smoke is so confident in their gummies, they're going to let you try them for free. You heard that right? Free. Exclusive to Pretend Problem listeners, go to dietsmoke.com/free. Pay $2.99 for shipping, and your free pack will arrive at your door in 48 hours. That's 2 days. Just, again, trying to help with the math. And if you already know Diet Smoke and you know what you like, use code PRETEND for 50% off any item. Okay? Diet Smoke, your partner in finding the perfect THC products for you. Back to the show.
Okay. If you guys want to write into the podcast, it's pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. We have such a wide array of emails this time because there are some that are a little bit older that I would like to get to because we do try to get through as many as we can. So this one's a little older. They say, "Hi guys, love the pod, your comedy, and after the wisecracks, the thoughtfulness of your responses. I'm asking for a follow-up to the cat urination problem that was mentioned a few episodes ago. Interested to hear how that issue was resolved, or if it was. Keep up the laughs and sincerity. Thank you." Well, let me tell you a little story, as Chad would say. Let me tell you a little story about how we thought it had been resolved.
We sure did.
And then, ironically, we were shooting a PETA commercial, and they asked me to sit on one part of the couch that we don't sit on very often. And I sat down and was like, oh, this has been peed on. And it wasn't like a recent pee. It wasn't wet, but it was just immediately that smell. And you're just sitting there like, oh, this is for PETA, and I'd really like to just open the front door and let our cat go live outside right now. Because she chose to pee on the one couch in the house that Chad brought from before we were together. It is one of the nicest, most expensive couches that you can get, and it is very hard to clean. And so I took it to the dry cleaner, and $84 later, it is clean, but like for...
Not the whole couch.
For how long? No, yeah, just that cushion.
Just one cushion. And I will say, would I spend that much money on a couch again? No. This is back... Have you ever come into just a little bit of money and been like, well, this is never going to run out, so I'm just going to buy whatever the fuck I want? And I sat on a couch in Columbus, Ohio. I was just walking around, and guess what? I'd been walking around for 4 hours, so I bet you a wooden fucking board would have felt good.
Oh, God.
And I sat on this couch. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting this. And then I saw the price tag. I'm like, doesn't matter.
Whoa.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And then I got it. And then the cat peed on it. And I think you were kind of nervous when the cat peed on it.
Yeah, because...
But I think I went straight, I don't know, whatever the opposite of ADHD is.
Do you remember your first reaction?
Well, I was just kidding though. Because I was outside. So I was outside on the deck because we were shooting this scene, and I like banged on the window and went, "That cat is dead." But like completely, it's a fucking PETA shoot.
I know, but I wouldn't have thought you were kidding because the conversations and remarks that had been said prior to her peeing on this were like when she would pee on other things in the house, and you would make it a point to go, if she pees on this couch, she's fucking dead. Like that was the messaging I'd been hearing over and over. And so I kept being like,
that is
okay,
true.
just not this couch, which is also like, what the fuck am I going to do? I can't monitor this cat every second of the day.
Well, you could.
And
but here's the deal.
And so when I realized she had peed on it, I was like, well, I have to tell him, and this is not going to go well. And then you were, after the jokes about it, surprisingly very chill.
Well, I was acting, and I was supposed to be mad. I was outside. I was actually supposed to be an outside cat that was left out too long.
Yeah.
Responding to you on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And so I was just kind of keeping with that thing. But and I do understand. The reason I would always go, if she pisses on this couch, she's fucking dead, because I never thought she would in a zillion years. It's too comfortable. Mm-hmm. Why would you pee on something you're going to lay on? What a fucking psycho cat.
She pees on blankets. That's like a cat's favorite thing to curl up in. She's weird.
Yeah.
So this is now a question that's turned into a question back to you guys. Is we have the Feel Away plugin, which is supposed to put this chemical or hormone into the air to make cats more calm and help with anxiety.
We added
a litter box. That was like the whole big move was we added a litter box. I really don't want to put her on medication. And the vet doesn't want us to put her on medication because it's a whole thing. You have to like do blood work consistently and all this stuff.
The vet doesn't have any furniture over here either, though.
It's such a pain. I know, but it's such a pain. But yeah, we added a litter box, which they use.
And she gets so much attention. This is not like a look at me piss thing.
I think it's an attitude thing. I think she does it because we travel for work. And I don't think she wants to be... And we have a cat sitter come every day. But it's like, I think she's very attached to me. She doesn't like when I'm gone. It sucks. But if you guys have experience with this, please write in pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com so I can stop having these dry cleaning bills because they're fucking insane. Okay. Next question. Foosball. They say, big fans of you both. Not a relationship question, but my wife and I love foosball. We got a cheapo table from Craigslist just to have one as soon as possible. It's fine, but we're ready for an upgrade. Was curious what table Kelsey would recommend. I like the single goalie and not a fan of the 3 goalies. What's your preference? Also, maybe I'm not seeing them, but would love more Wrists of Fury. Both of you should come to Eastern Washington, closer to Wenatchee. The better for us, so we can watch you live. Thank you both very much, Alan and Jessica. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
First of all, can I take this?
Sure.
We're not coming to fucking Wenatchee, Alan. Get in your car and drive to a city, for Christ's sake. Secondly, you got to have the 3 goalies because that's the tournament table, man. I'm kidding about Wenatchee. I do think there's like a theater show there that's pretty fun. I've
done it. It's great.
But so I was teasing about that. But I'm not teasing about this. I do think you need the 3 goalies because that's part of the deal. That's like part of the tournament table.
Yeah, I prefer a 3-man goalie, but if you do want a 1-man goalie, Warrior tables are the best for that. They have the ramped sides. Best 3-man goalie rods are Tornado tables. Tornado. That's what we have. So you got 2 options there, and I would love for Wrists of Fury to get a new home someday. We just weren't able to keep it going with All Things Comedy, but in the future, who knows? Because it's so much fun. So. Anyway, thank you for writing in. Oh, shoot. I just clicked out of the one I didn't mean to. I'll try to find that. Okay, so this is in reference to an episode a few weeks ago. They say, what an ending. Oh my God. I sure hope you're going to tell us there's a baby in the future and making us wait another week. Damn it, Dad Chaniels. LOL. Love you both. So this is when we were talking about that Cy came over and was showing us his baby Sunday and that... I was like, oh, that was so fun to have a baby around. And you didn't want to get into it.
I remember that.
Do you want to talk about how you feel about having
there's not a baby in the future. I don't know what to say.
Wow.
Well, that
was so harsh.
But are you pregnant?
The future's a long time.
Well, right.
The future's the future.
The future's a long time for... some people.
I am not
for me.
When he says there's no baby in the future, I'm not currently pregnant.
Right. That's what I was getting at.
Oh.
But to say the future's a long time, yeah, for people that were born today.
When you say there's not a baby in the future, how do you think most people take that? That we won't have a baby?
I think a lot of people took it as like, this is none of our business. So we don't have to have any sort of reaction.
Oh my God, your brain. Well, I have made peace with the idea that I might never have kids and I would have a happy life.
Okay, because that sounded, I've made peace with the fact that this motherfucker won't finish in me after he gets his balls tied back together. I've made peace. You also don't know if you want a baby. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Your life as you know it is fucking done.
I know.
It's done. We're talking about a trip to Dublin and London and Paris, not for work, just to go there and enjoy. Mm-hmm. Done.
I know.
We're talking about work. We no longer get to travel on the same weekends. That's done. Yeah. You have to go one weekend. I'll stay home. I'll have to go the next weekend. You go to work. Mm-hmm. All of it done. The fun, the basketball games, the hockey games, the going like, we should go to Whole Foods and keep driving and go to sushi. Done.
I know.
All of it.
I know.
Okay. I just want to make it so clear that it is like a completely different thing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right.
I think the question that everybody asks themselves is, does having a baby outweigh that, or like balance out the fact that you might not get to do those other things as easily for a few years?
Sure.
Compared to
a few years.
Well, but like going to sushi with like a 4-year-old, we could go to sushi with a 4-year-old.
Depends what kind of 4-year-old. What if I'm sprinkled with tism and I pass it on and this kid gets full blast? What if he gets full blast tism and he's like, I don't like fat. I mean, it's. I'm telling you, it depends on what kind of 4-year-old when you're talking about a restaurant. That's the truth.
I don't like fat.
Well, I mean, and listen, I get it. You're 4. I don't want to put fucking raw fish in my mouth either.
Yeah.
But it is just and you know, does it outweigh missing out on all those things? No.
Oh my God.
I've missed out on those things. And was it worth it? Of course it was worth it. I mean, my 2 kids are like, you know, fatherhood has been, I mean, one of the greatest things ever for me.
Yeah.
But then when I'm kind of done, to be like, reboot, Dad Daniels 2.0.
Send them back to the starting line.
Yeah, that's so it's like Candyland. Like, go back to start. It's like, what the fuck? I was on Sugar Drop Mountain.
Hanging out with a gloppy.
So I guess I just don't, you know, and it's not like a accidental thing that's going to happen either.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be so planned.
Here's the thing. If I went and got my balls tied back together and you got your IUD out and we tried and this kid came out and looked at me wrong once, I'd be like, motherfucker, look at this surgery. Look at this surgery. This was all for you, right? If you accidentally have a kid, you're like, well, it's not your fault. But this is like, if we put forth that much effort and we have a shithead kid, ooh, oh man, it's not going to be good.
I know.
Get your tail out of there, dipshit.
I know, that is hard. I've thought about that. I just wish that my nieces lived closer to me, because then I think I'd get to have that itch scratched. Yeah. Well, and who do we blame for that? Your brother. My brother. No, I'm kidding.
I'm also kidding.
But I know. I just, it's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Next question.
It really is.
I know. We've talked about this off air, and I believe that it is too.
Yeah, because if we don't, there really are so many amazing things that we can do, and it'd be great. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I have to keep clearing my throat. We talked about before the episode that this room has just been so catified, and we're both allergic to cats, which is awesome because I brought 2 cats. Oh, gosh, you got me right in the eye.
Interesting. I'm allergic to cats. I'm going to bring 2 of them. I'm allergic to peanuts. You can no longer have your favorite food. Different attitude.
And look at her face.
I know. About to Lion King your ass. In the good way. I'm about to teach her how to eat grubs.
Oh, you can
so
raise
she can
her
survive.
Up.
Yes.
Like a baby. You're so beautiful. Okay. We've got a couple really great follow-ups this episode. So this is titled Girlfriend's Best Friend Creepy Douche Follow-Up.
Yes.
You remember this? Okay. Hello, chatty daddy, and then in parentheses, father, LOL, and Kelsey, the haunted cook. Just wanted to give you some follow-up to my initial question that you responded to in episode 20. I'm Eric, the one who's dating the lady who has the male creep friend. Not sure if you remember, Kelsey, but I introduced myself at the merch table in Rosemont as Eric, and I whispered that I just wrote your podcast yesterday. Because of my lousy attempt at whispering that to you, my girlfriend who was with me overheard me and asked me in the car ride home what I was whispering to you about. I ended up telling her about the email question and even let her read it several days later.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this was before your response episode aired. After everything was out on the table, she was not only pleasantly surprised by my reaching out to you guys, but without prompting, she had already taken the action you suggested and had given him the talk. He was no doubt crushed to find that she was ready to cut ties if XYZ ... But true to form, later that same day, he was already at it again via text. He repeatedly asked to be included in our weekend's plans again. Oh, this guy. I would not stand this shit. This drives me fucking crazy.
Now, do we know if he runs an open pickleball league? Do we know about that? Have we confirmed that or not? Not sure.
Okay, so he repeatedly asked to be included in our weekend's plans again, which involved a trip to a Cubs game at Wrigley Field for her birthday, which is like, that's like such a couple, like, we're going to go out. My God. And also, for some reason, he had sent her pictures of his actual morning shit.
Okay, I'm back on board for this guy. Respect.
No. It bears mentioning at this point that his previous XYZ had included sneaking pictures on his phone of attractive young women in our proximity, women that he also has attempted to flirt with even though they are clearly too young for him, whilst out in public with family or significant others, the latter of which resulted in a confrontation that saw him kicked out of a bar that we were all at together, the aforementioned Nulo.
Wow. Now, gotta stop you there. How much younger?
I know you're going to get Chad off board if it's
How much
less
younger?
than 14 years.
Well, it wasn't. Listen, you and I have, I think, a different thing.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I wasn't out at a bar looking.
Yeah, no.
I think that it just kind of happened. Anyways.
Also, we are both adults. This sounds like this guy is like older and hitting on like girls in their 20s.
Oh, okay.
We're both adults. Now, flash forward to post-Cubs game when she showed me evidence of the day's communication. I had had enough. I directly gave him some strong statements about my opinion of him, effectively defriending him. In the week since, we have heard nothing from him, and I hope it stays that way. I am proud of my lady for standing her ground. I just hope it sticks this time. The takeaway here is that sometimes just reaching out to an outside source and speaking the problem into existence is all the encouragement you need in order to affect change. It is to her own credit that she took action before even knowing about the email, but now it feels like we are on the same page, eager to move forward without his negative influence. Thank you for responding to my email on PPP. It was so satisfying after years of chat making me laugh that I got him to belly laugh at my Costanza reference. From Sweet Eric. P.S. Have already gotten several questions about what my "it's not water" shirt means. I just tell them to look you up. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome. Man, what a satisfying follow-up.
It's a satisfying follow-up unless somewhere in a door frame is scratched, "Brooks was here." That's the only way. That's a Shawshank Redemption reference that you're not going to get because she doesn't like good movies. Show me the Aristocats, but not anything that I have to fucking watch for the point.
The Aristocats is a perfect movie.
I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings, Mia.
It's a perfect movie. Okay, I wanted to do another update email.
Can't hear him.
Because it's our favorite updater. This is Sex Question Alert.
Time out.
Times 3.
Without knowing, is this the "I'd give you head if you let me lick your beehole"?
If you let me lick your beehole.
If you let me lick your beehole, laddie.
Yes.
Okay.
And what was the first one, though, that he sent?
The first one was he didn't know how to get her to...
Oh,
she
yes.
like wasn't into it.
He was like, I want my
she's
lady to give me BJ's. And then we were like, well, have you talked about, like, is there a hygiene thing here? Does her jaw have issues? And he said on the second follow-up that he brought it up with her. No, it's not a hygiene issue. No, it's not a jaw issue. It's that she wants to, but she wants to be able to lick his asshole at the same time. And we were like, my guy, what else are you looking for?
Now, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
It's oddly specific.
It is oddly specific because I'll never forget it.
Okay.
A woman came up to me after a show. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you get hit on, whatever, and you just go, "Oh, man, that's so nice." This lady hit on me in such a way that I think could get you arrested in 2024.
Sure.
She said, I can take 10 inches and still lick your asshole. And I said,
What?
yeah. And I said, Miss, you'd be able to lick the middle of my back. And we all had a great laugh. And then I sprinted back to the hotel by myself. I'd never been
Covering
scared.
your dick and your asshole.
I'd never been scared like that by someone saying something like that. And that frightened me.
Oh my God.
That's so aggressive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who are these women?
I don't know.
Feral.
Yeah.
Absolutely feral.
That's a good word.
Okay, so they say, hi, blank, here with an update. I just don't want to say your name in case you don't want that. So I don't like anything near my buttocks. Buttocks.
Is that so? Like, turns out I don't like anything near my buttocks? Okay.
It sounds like he already knows
He's
this.
known this for years.
He knows this about himself. So I don't like anything near my buttocks, and she knows that. So since I won't let her near my poop chute, she won't give me what I want. I told her it's very uncomfortable for me, and she basically said I'm just acting macho. I am being a little macho because I feel it's a very vulnerable thing to let her lick my bum. Your words are so funny to me.
I just love that you don't want her to touch your butthole so badly you've moved to England. That's amazing.
Buttocks and bum. My question is, should I just forget about the BJs and live a BJ-less life? Love you guys. P.S. Minnesota winning the chip. Winning the chip?
Championship.
Oh.
Talking about the T-Wolves, I would have guessed.
Oh, okay.
I would guess.
The chip. I mean, your body's your body. My body, my choice. If you really don't want somebody by your butthole, nobody's going to make you do it. But I mean, I feel a little sad though for you that you are considering living a BJ-less life when you've got a woman who's just like ready to go to town.
Yeah. Now I completely grow up. Grow up and wash your asshole with a toothbrush. Let her get in there. How do you know you don't like it? Now, if you know you don't like it because something's happened like that before and you're like, you know what? That made me uncomfortable. I don't like it. That's where my shit comes out. I get it. I feel like that sometimes too. But my God, man, that is like you've won the lottery.
Yeah.
You've won the lottery with...
Yeah.
Now, are you scared your nipples are going to explode? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. All I know is, and again, it is your body, your choice, but maybe take one for the team here, bruh. We want to hear how it goes. You don't think there's people sitting on pins and needles and all you have to sit on is a tongue? Grow up. Sorry, I'm yelling. I have ADHD. Get used to that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That should be merch for sure. I have ADHD. Yeah. Are you worried that it's going to be like not clean enough for her? Are you worried that...
Doesn't sound like she cares.
I know. Are you worried that it's not going to like look... I'm like, just turn all the lights off and give it a good scrub, I guess. I don't know. Also, maybe I just feel like there could be a compromise here. Maybe you could tell her, look, I would really love a blowjob. I know that you want to do more than that, but why don't we just start here? Maybe like, are you okay with like a finger or something? Like, see if you can just find a middle ground for now and maybe you get more comfortable. But this whole like black and white, either it's like her full way or nothing at all. That's like, I think we could find a compromise here.
I mean, maybe you could smear some shit on the wall and after she blows you, she could go over there and lick it off. I don't know. Well, I know, but that's like the same
Willy Wonka it.
Yeah. It's like, we're bringing her to the juicing room.
No, I mean the wallpaper.
I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the only,
you didn't know what I was
the only
talking about.
reference I know.
Oh, okay.
Come with me and you'll see. So listen, I understand sometimes when we're growing up, stuff is completely like shoved to the middle of our brain. And we just think, well, I don't like this, but I don't know why. I just know I'm not supposed to like this. Is that what you're going through? Because if you think that's what you're going through, if you've never tried it and you think you don't like things near your butthole, then I think you should try it.
Yeah.
And I think you should write a 4th email and let us know, and we probably won't even read it. We'll probably just get sexy to it.
I love your email updates, so keep them coming. I think our listeners love them too.
Yeah, keep us coming.
Hello. Okay, I think let's do 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
I want to do a couple. We got, like I said, so many ADHD response emails, and I would like to get to some of them, and maybe we'll do some more.
Autism in big font. It's the only word I can see. Oh my God.
There's more to it.
Okay.
It's a whole graph.
Oh, it's a whatever it's called.
Yes.
Venn diagram. A triple.
This is titled Giftedness. Could this be part of Chad's answer?
Giftedness?
Don't even get this guy fucking started
Listen,
on giftedness.
Was I in a program for gifted children growing up called Comet in Fergus Falls, Minnesota? Yeah, I was. Did I get kicked out because I was quick to anger and argue with one of the teachers because she was dumber than me when I asked a question and she was wrong? It's true. I've told you about this question.
I know, but that's so bold to just call people dumber than you.
Well, I was also just kidding. I'm trying to make this funny.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, giftedness question mark? I don't know.
How about giftedness exclamation point?
Let's check it out.
They say, hello, Kelsey and Chad. I have no business butting in on Chad's quest to learn more about himself, but I feel compelled to share this with both of you. Many years ago, I discovered the concept of adult giftedness. It is important that you know this is in a scope. What?
I just think it's funny because if there's anything that I can take from this, I'm full on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I guess I am a Pisces. I do like water. I had water last night and it was delicious. I am a Pisces. I mean, it's crazy.
You are in Mensa. I mean, this all.
That's very true. It was a lucky guess.
It is important that you know that this is in a scope outside of the elementary school perspective and encompasses the whole person, not just their education-related intelligence. Interesting.
Well, I did take 3 years at a community college. Never graduated.
Really balancing it all out.
Never graduated.
There are many characteristics that I would apply to Chad only as the listeners of his comedy Middle of Somewhere and this podcast, and obviously not in his real life, so my view is incomplete. Many characteristics of giftedness overlap with ADHD and autism, and a person can be diagnosed with all 3, so navigating the river of neurodivergence can be frustrating. This graphic I found online, see below, is a brief overview of the 3. I think it's important that giftedness is considered in Chad's search for more insight into how his brain works.
That's nice. Now, can I stop you there?
Yeah.
I was reading some of, like, you showed me some lists for ADHD and anxiety and whatnot. And then a bunch of people in Nashville came out and they were like, my favorite bit is this, because you say this. And I'm like, oh my God, my whole catalog is filled with clues.
Riddled with toxins.
Unbelievable. So listen, and also it's like, I'm going to tell you something. I will take action if it is diagnosed. I will do what they think I need to do, but also, like, I'm not embarrassed about this. I don't care if I have it. It's not like a thing, because this is just like, this is me. This is me, baby.
Yeah. Well, I also think you were saying that as a dad, that it feels good to be able to set an example for your kids too, of that if you do have something that it's not anything to be ashamed of. And I think that's awesome.
And I think when you get diagnosed with something like this, it gives you a green light to point fingers and diagnose others. And I can't wait to start walking around going, you have it, bitch. You have it. I can't wait.
Gonna ope for everybody.
Yes.
By the way, did you recognize my Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference? When he's telling, I don't know the show well enough, but I just love this line where he's telling Danny DeVito to stop eating an apple. He goes, Frank, that apple is riddled with toxins. And he starts spitting it out. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, great. Anyway, I just didn't want to offend anybody. When I said toxins, I don't think that you have toxins.
Oh, I do. We
Okay.
both know that. All right, let's do it.
So this is tough to share. I mean, maybe we could send it to Justin to put on the screen, but it is a Venn diagram of ADHD, autism, and giftedness, and the different traits of each and what the different combinations of them have in common. So,
And there is one middle that really has all 3.
Should I read those?
Let's read just the middle.
Okay. Emotional sensitivity,
Got it.
sensory differences.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's like scratchy shirts.
Yeah, you're very like auditory stuff, I think, bothers you.
That's true.
Like you're very like specific with that.
Oh, shit.
Interest driven,
Yeah, of course. Who isn't?
unique ways of learning,
Yeah, me.
intense curiosity,
Okay.
executive function difficulties.
What do you think that is?
So
I know what it is.
divergent/creative thinking,
Well, that's not fair. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a gifted stand-up comedian.
and then asynchronous development, which I don't know what that means.
It just means a little out of whack.
Okay.
Um,
You know why you know that? Because you're gifted.
there's no doubt about that. And actually, that's what it says in the gifted circle. It says, knows what that means.
It's just like one of those like choose your own adventure.
Yep.
Do you want me to read any other ones?
No, I think we should put this up. Put this up on the board. But actually, let's read just gifted. Just gifted.
Okay. Tendency toward abstract thinking,
Got it.
rapid comprehension and or skip thinking. That I think is really interesting because you do that often where you'll say something and I'll go, what? And you go, well, because this. And I go, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
you'll make a joke and I won't understand how you got from A to B.
I get from A to G,
Yeah.
and I have to go B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide range of interests.
I mean, listen, this is what I have a problem with these things. Is like, who the fuck doesn't have a wide range of
A
interests?
lot of people.
Well, get on board. Let someone lick your asshole.
But that is the thing. I think like you're such a creative person and you're so good at a lot of things that I feel like you're interested in a lot of things. But I have a lot of people in my life who are just like, yeah, I don't really like have hobbies or like,
Oh, get
I
them
don't, like,
out of your
love
life.
my-
Ship it, man.
I don't love my job or, it's just like,
These people, don't bring them around me. I have no time for them.
Fascination with theory. You're so cute. I love watching your face as you hear that. Early concern for and ongoing need to explore existential issues. Tendency to make connections across domains. I don't really know what that means, but tendency to predict consequences and foresee problems. Needing intellectual stimulation / mental challenges. Day 600 and what of Duolingo? Early emotional awareness.
I don't know. I mean,
about that one?
when it comes to others, I think I do. Like I'm always trying to be one step ahead when it comes to others' emotions. With my emotions, again, if I'm caught in the circle, it doesn't work.
Excuse me. Awareness of and need for complexity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who doesn't need that to be stimulated.
I always make fun of country music songs where it's like sometimes what they're marketing to is like, I've just got my dog in my porch and I'm looking out on the stream and it's the same day over and over and I love my life. And it's like, I think there are people where it's like, that is great. They're not looking for complexity.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that. I can't have the same day over and over.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will go run errands just to change my scenery. So whatever. But I listen. Am I gifted? Not any more than anyone else, I'm sure.
Yes, you are.
But I just like, there's so many of these things. It's like, I just feel like, these lists, again, I will say it, it feels a little like, horoscopes to me. Where it's like some of them fit, some of them don't, but you go, well, and you concentrate on the ones that fit.
But I believe, I'm not positive, that when somebody gets a diagnosis for any of these sort of things, you don't need to meet every single criteria. It's meeting like 7 out of the 10 things or whatever the percentage is.
Okay. It should have to be a higher percentage. I think 7s should be the lowest thing. Because if you meet 5, that's like, well, you have half the things, but you don't have half the things.
Well, I don't think it's 5.
Right.
I think it's half.
I just saw one, ADHD, social interactions affected by impulse control and focus differences. I don't think I have that, but if you fucking have a problem with me playing on a pickleball court, okay.
What about when we were at the Twins game with Hannah and Kelly and you?
That's not fair. Okay. Can I say something? We've talked about this on this show, right?
I don't know what you're about to say.
Well, she was like, don't yell. Like at a baseball game? I'm not constantly going, you fucking suck. You're fucking miserable. I'm not yelling that kind of stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I did yell because you're in an open air stadium. That's what you're supposed to do there. You hear it all the time. You're supposed to, it's like interactive. You're fans. You're supposed to yell stuff.
I know, but and we can feel differently about this, and that's okay. I'm just telling you how I feel about it.
Okay.
So when I think of yelling at a game, it's like you're cheering or like something like you're participating.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what you yelled?
Go ahead.
I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something like, you guys are fucking professionals.
No,
or
I
like,
did not say fucking. I don't swear at baseball
oh,
games.
okay. You guys are professional. You guys get paid millions of dollars to do this. Like, it was like berating our team for not
Reminding. Not berating. Reminding. Like what's happening right now is not worth $1 million. I'm just reminding them. Now, well, listen, Ursula scared you. So I feel like we have very different sensibilities when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well, that
I
was
will
also
always yell. I will always yell at sporting events. I know you were getting mad at me when we went to the Timberwolves game and you just wouldn't admit it because you didn't want to ruin the game. Because I was standing up and going like, that's not a foul. But that's what you're there for.
Yeah. I'm also not 2 anymore. So like, I'm not scared of Ursula anymore. I was just a scared child. But yeah, I don't know. We are different at sporting events and that's okay.
Right. And did they start playing better when they were reminded that they were millionaires? Yeah. Does that make me gifted? I don't know. No. I'm not sure. Am I gifted? Do I know how to talk to people?
They can't hear you.
Oh, yes, they can.
You think those guys can hear you?
Oh, I promise they can hear you. If you time it right, I guarantee they can hear you. I've had guys turn around, start laughing. I am a fucking riot at baseball games. You guys just weren't giving me the business because you're like, oh, I'm prim and proper, and I thought we were going to a golf match.
No.
This is baseball.
Baseball's not a
It
stuff.
is a yell when you need to. Yes, it is.
There wasn't anybody else around us that was.
Let's take a poll.
Okay. Yeah, actually, honestly, write into pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com or comment on this YouTube video, either or. But let us know what your vibe is, what your feeling is.
Keep in mind,
sporting events.
I do not curse at sporting events.
He doesn't curse
because there are kids there. Yeah. And for the most part, my heckling is pretty well done. I will do research. I will figure out where they went to college. I'll figure out pets' names. I'll really give her bud.
That is so
it makes it more fun.
Wild to me.
I'm not like, I'm going to kill your fucking dog, Daryl. I'm not like that. I'm just like, you came all the way here to play like this and Daryl's at home waiting for you. And this is how you're going to play. That kind of stuff. And then they turn around. They're like, all right. You know, my dog's name's Daryl. It's fun.
It's just, that's a new world to me.
A whole new world?
A whole new world. Aladdin. I wasn't aware that anybody would do that before a game, that they would look up facts about the players to be able to heckle them with them. And so I'm open-minded. If you guys write in, I try not to pile on Chad with this ADHD stuff or neurodivergence. I'm trying not to put every one of his little idiosyncrasies under there, but like we are very different in that way. Because I mean, you couldn't pay me enough to shout something like that when it's quiet.
Yeah, well, that's when you have to shout it so they can hear you.
And so your girlfriend and their two friends can extra hear it as well. And we can all go, oh my God.
Well, listen, we don't have to go to games together. I'm okay with that.
I love going to games with you.
It sounds like it.
I do love going, but it's just, you know.
Well, I'm glad that you're open-minded.
Yeah.
You hear that, Eric? Maybe you should try it.
That's not Eric. We don't share Eric is the girlfriend's best friend is a creepy douche. We don't share the guy's name that has
with the
butthole phobia.
Sorry,
because I think it's too personal, and I don't think
fair.
he says
That's
unless
fair.
he said in the first one he could share. I don't know, but oh man, what an episode! Oh my God, hour 13.
We got to get out of here.
We got to get out of here, guys. pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for your great emails this time, and see us on tour. Share an episode in your Instagram stories. Leave an iTunes 5-star rating and review, and we're going to get Patreon started soon. Yay.
Yeah. And I'm not gifted. I'm ready to rock, baby.
Bye, guys.
Bye.